Let's be committed for life. It's ever so important to live in a mutually committed relationship. But how do I know if my spouse is committed to me? First of all, every well-functioning relationship has a healthy developmental process. For example, the initial acquaintance and dating is followed by getting engaged, then the marriage and moving in together, and hopefully this is followed by the joy of having children. But if this developmental process stops at any stage of the relationship, it shows a lack of commitment. Examples might be if the couple is engaged for years because they cannot make a final decision to get married, or if they are deliberately avoiding having a child for a long time, even though they are married and there are no obvious reasons why they shouldn't have children. So at least one member of such a relationship is unsure whether they want to be committed for life to the other. Why? Because they are dissatisfied with their partner and therefore they feel insecure. They hope to find a better one, a more suitable one, and they are secretly longing for someone else from time to time. But let's be honest, that's not fair because that's an exploitation and a deception of their current partner. So, because that's just a wasting of their time. So what's that if not selfishness? Let's only get into a closer relationship and a deeper acquaintance if we are sure that we are mature enough to make a decision for a lifelong marriage. Of course, if we are not seriously concerned about our partner's personality or mindset, and if we both have serious intentions with each other, then we can set a date for the engagement, which should not be more than about a few months after a deeper acquaintance. And let's determine the date of the marriage too. This should not be later than about a year or 1.5 years after the engagement. The period of engagement gives the couple ample time to get to know each other thoroughly and make a considered and a final decision whether to marry. That also means that it is important for them to spend enough time, meaningful, valuable time together during the period of engagement so they can really get to know each other. If someone breaks off their engagement because they have come to a realization that marriage with that person would be a wrong decision, they are not sinning by breaking it off. And so there are no grounds for resentment at all. And if the time of engagement is not enough for someone to make a final decision, then they should break the engagement and completely cut ties with the other person. If someone feels unwilling to marry, yet doesn't break off the relationship and keeps their partner waiting, again, just as I said before, that would be wasting their partner's time and hindering their chance of forming a well-functioning relationship with someone else. So our suggestion is, if you are not engaged or married yet, then give yourselves a realistic time limit to make a decision about whether or not to be committed to each other. Please think about this, and if possible, please take notes. What steps will you take to make a clear and firm decision?
And the breastplate of righteousness. We put on the belt of truth to gird our loins. We put on the shoes of the gospel of peace. We take up the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit in our hand today. We do all this to stand strong in the Spirit against the ways of the enemy. We will not be pushed back in Jesus' holy name.